Marik with sport.
And I'm Shamar Krampasad with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. With U.S. troops and a radar base in Tobago, political leaders fear the island could become a target.
Homeland Security Minister confirms possession of a U.S. list of local persons of interest, but it can't yet be made public.
Communication Union promises more revelations as it intensifies its scrutiny of TSTT's finances.
Ahead in sport.
I've been there around 5 head coaches, and I think, the opportunity arise and grab it with both hands. King banks on prior experience in his latest interim Soca Warriors head coaching stint.
The dry and breezy bushfire weather continues. I have the details in tonight's weather report.
PNM Tobago Council leader Ansel Dennis warns that Trinidad and Tobago could face security risks in the absence of transparency about U.S. military personnel on the island.
Dennis spoke with CNC3 News as questions continue about American troops in Tobago and reports that access to the Grafton Beach Resort has been restricted. Locals told CNC3 News they were denied entry, with security saying the hotel was booked for a specific group. Dennis said Tobagonians are aware of the military presence, but the real issue is the lack of clear information from the government. He accused officials of signing deals with the United States without disclosing the terms.
What this arrangement is about, what is in it for Trinidad and Tobago, what are we giving up, what deals are on the table. What are the benefits to us, right? Because, we live in a world now where everybody knows what is happening in the world. And we have seen several examples within recent times where to military assets, right, are becoming targets of what we might consider enemies of the people that we are hosting at this point in time.
He also called on Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar to clarify the agreement she signed at the America's Counter-Cartel Coalition Summit. Meanwhile, IDA leader Dr. Denise Soifat Angus urged the government to state how long U.S. troops will remain in Tobago.
We were told this presence was about dismantling the narcotics network connected to Venezuela. But if the chief cook and bottle washer in that operation has already been captured and removed, then the obvious question is, what exactly is the continuing mission here?
While concerns grow, Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association President Reginald McLean says the U.S. presence makes the island safer.
He added that the only impact on tourism has come from the new state of emergency. Efforts to reach Chief Secretary Farley Augustine were unsuccessful. However, Augustine told another media house that the U.S. troops are at the Grafton Beach Resort and they are expected to leave Tobago days from now. He
added that there is no THA-imposed restriction at the hotel and locals have been able to enjoy the gym alongside the troops.
Well, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says the country will soon know more about a persons of interest list compiled by the U.S. and shared with his ministry. But the minister is keeping those details close to his chest. Alexander told a local newspaper the country continues to partner with its international allies to address violence in this country. The latest list follows the Prime Minister's signing of the U.S.-led America's Counter-Cartel Coalition, with the U.S. promising to offer deadly force in the local fight against narco-terrorists.
Any people who were arrested in the last SOE was on that list?
We'll let you know when that time comes, Mr. Jensen.
No,
I hope you're not on the list, Mr. Jensen.
I am not.
The minister explained the list contains persons of interest in the country who are linked to illegal guns, drugs and violence.
But opposition Senator Faris Al-Arawi is questioning why the Homeland Security Minister is relying on the United States to identify local individuals allegedly involved in drug trafficking and organized crime. The former Attorney General says while intelligence sharing with the United States is common, it raises serious questions about why government does not already possess similar information through its own security and intelligence networks.
You mean to tell me that Roger Alexander, after 3 periods of emergency, 2 states of emergency, does not have a list of his own, supplied to him by the Commissioner of Police, not as it relates to breach or disclosures of law, but you mean to tell me that Minister Alexander is telling us that the Trinidad and Tobago police don't have a list?
He says that during previous states of emergency, law enforcement detained several people identified as gang leaders, suggesting that the police service already had this type of intelligence on organized criminal networks.
Al-Rawi further questioned why Alexander was not involved in discussions linked to the Shield of the Americas, saying the minister responsible for Homeland Security should be central to international efforts to combat organized crime in TNT.
The Communication Workers Union is threatening to release files in the coming weeks as it seeks to escalate claims of financial mismanagement, political interference, and poor treatment of TSTT workers.
The union criticized the majority state-owned agency's 3-day board retreat in Tobago, calling it a waste of taxpayer money while employees, both retrenched and active, struggle to make ends meet. During a protest outside TSTT's Port of Spain headquarters, CWU General Secretary Joanne Ogier said the union will disclose more documents in 3 weeks to show additional breaches at the company.
And I want to put the government on notice. In 3 weeks, the Communication Workers Union will bust more files, and I want Barry Padarat to rubbish the claims of the union. As he liked to say, he rubbished the claims. We saw it, political interference. He fired Kent Weston, and Kent Weston is not, I'm not defending Kent Weston, he's not my friend. But we are on a principle-based position. You fire Kent Weston, or you give him a golden handshake to go.
She accused the company, led by acting CEO Keno Cox and Chairman Kern Das, of offering retrenched and active employees $15,000 one-off payments with no back pay, pension increases, or salary adjustments. The CWU leader called on government officials, including Line Minister Barry Padarat and former union leader Clyde Elder, now in office, to provide transparency. Ogier vowed that the union would continue exposing alleged mismanagement.
TSTT is the new NGC of 2026. And you know what we see now? Barry Padarat, when he was in the opposition as the shadow MP, he was the baddest thing in the parliament. He want intel from the union. He want to mash up the PNM government. And let me say this, for those who say the Communication Workers Union is a PNM government, waste for them too. Because Marvin Gonzalez sat in the chair and he jumped out of himself talking now about what happened in TSTT. When you were there, you did nothing. When the union wrote to you, what did you say? You know what he told Elder, who is now a minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, who all of a sudden his famous comment now is no comment. No comment.
Political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath said the Minister of Public Utilities should not bear the brunt of criticism over the issue, stressing that the board is responsible for management decisions and approvals.
He noted that retreats are not unusual, but said spending must be justified, especially if executives may leave their positions shortly after. Political analyst Dr. Winford James added that while accountability is important, the optics of such spending during a period of austerity raises questions.
Still to come in the news, government tight-lipped on the cost of implementing online travel forms, citing national security reasons.
Head of Taxi Association warns drivers to keep their cool after licensing officer is assaulted in Currep.
Coming up in sport, McCollins Magic leads UTT to another all-sectors netball title.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off.
Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Monilal confirms that talks with U.S. energy giant Chevron will take place this Friday, and he reveals another U.S. company has expressed an interest in the acquisition of the Pointe-a-Pierre refinery. Dr. Monilal confirms that discussions with Chevron will center on possible investment and the use of idle energy infrastructure in the country. He says the discussions follow a recent meeting between Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris Wright regarding the shuttered Point-de-Pierre refinery. Dr. Motilal says the OWTU's Patriotic Energies has submitted a new proposal. However, there is also American interest.
We are with Chevron now in discussions, as I indicated. We did meet a few days ago with the diplomatic community, and yes, another U.S. entity, which I prefer not to name now, but another U.S. entity has expressed interest in the refinery and those installations at Point-de-Pierre. We are doing the initial preliminary work now by way of correspondence and so on, and then we will move to the next phase, which might be another virtual conference meeting, and then possibly a visit.
Chevron, one of the world's largest oil and gas companies, exited TNT in 2017 after selling its assets to Shell.
Former Finance Minister and opposition MP Com Imbert is urging caution over the recent surge in global oil prices triggered by escalating conflict in the Middle East, warning that any short-term revenue gains for Trinidad and Tobago could be offset by rising import costs.
Imbert described the spike in oil prices as a double-edged sword, noting that while higher energy prices can boost government revenue, they may also lead to increased shipping and insurance costs that will ultimately be passed on to consumers.
He explained that as an import-dependent economy, Trinidad and Tobago has little control over such global developments.
If goods are coming out from that side of the world, being now subjected to a war surcharge and higher insurance rates and all that sort of thing, then the cost of goods for Trinidad and Tobago will increase significantly. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword. You might get a little more revenue, but you might get jammed with higher prices of consumer items because of the war surcharge on freight and so on.
He also dismissed suggestions from government officials that the country's finances could significantly benefit from the situation.
Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Motilal had revealed that this country's revenue position increased by $4 million a month last Friday as a result of higher oil prices following the Middle East war. And that sum is in addition to $10 million in oil revenue, which was estimated earlier that week.
The Homeland Security Minister says bomb threats are the work of idle hands.
He was reacting to the report of a bomb on board a cargo plane that left Piarco for Miami 6 days ago. When asked about it today, Alexander told reporters the threats are being taken seriously.
We're remote here.
And how long would that be?
And the intelligence is helping us tremendously. Both local, regional, and international.
There have been at least 2 bomb threats recently, both in the Eastern Division. One was made at the Rio Claro East Secondary School and the other to the Sangre Grande police station.
Opposition Senator and former Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown has pointed to what he believes are emerging cracks within the government's stance on the Middle East conflict. At an opposition press briefing today, he noted that 2 Muslim members in government appear to be distancing themselves from the administration's support of the United States and Israel in the war in Iran. Dr. Brown says he had taken note of the comments from Government Senator David Naked and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein, which suggest they're uneasy with the government's position. Hussein said he was praying for peace, while Naked said he had shared his concerns with government's position with the Prime Minister.
I think both of them profess to be of Islamic faith, and it is clear would have experienced some distress at the government's series of media releases which gave explicit and specific support to the ongoing war in Iran and the Middle East.
The opposition senator further questioned government's recent participation in the U.S.-led America's counter-cartel coalition, saying they may not be as new as it has been presented.
Well, one taxi drivers association is urging motorists to obey licensing officers during road stops following Monday's reported assault on a transport officer in Currab.
President of the Princestown to Barrackport Taxi Drivers Association, Chancharat Rampasad, spoke out after police reported that a licensing officer was assaulted along Southern Main Road in Curepe earlier this week. Investigators say the officer reported that the truck of a green bandit Maxi taxi struck him twice in the face, chased a licensing authority vehicle with a wheel spanner, and then fled the scene. Police later went to the Caroni licensing office where the suspect was identified and arrested. Rampersad says while enforcement operations may frustrate motorists, drivers must remain calm and follow the law.
I will tell them to do the correct thing and obey the order, the law of the land, right? Do not make no noise. If you're wrong, take your wrong. If you're not wrong and you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, law-abiding, what I am saying, right? You have no fear.
Transport Commissioner Clive Clark confirmed the incident is under review and stressed that assaulting a transport officer is a summary offence under the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. Clark said licensing officers are legally empowered to intercept motorists suspected of traffic offences, even outside of formal road exercises. Rampersad said he has seen the video circulating on social media and believes road rage has become a serious problem. He added that some drivers behave like bullies and refuse to accept authority.
It's too much of bullies, and they just feel they could do what they want, and nobody in their authority must tell them nothing. And I want to commend Mr. Clive Clark for taking those actions with his license officers. I will support him in any endeavor that he does. That is why they bring up all these fines.
Rampersad said road rage and confrontational behavior from some motorists are making the job of enforcement officers more difficult.
Meanwhile, Clark said any move to arm licensing officers will require careful assessment. President of the Police Social Welfare Association, Ishmael Pitt, says issues of basic office supplies remain a challenge for some police stations. During CNC3's Morning Brew program today, ASP Pitt said he was aware of an issue in Tobago where officers were unable to print documents due to a lack of ink, adding that such challenges are a setback to officers trying to fulfill their mandate.
You know, situations like these, it places the officers in a position where you want to execute your role and function, and you just don't have the means by which to do it.
When asked about an incident where a quantity of marijuana seized by police went missing at the Chaguanas police station, Pitt said while such incidents impacted the image of the police service, it also demonstrated the ability of the TTPS to investigate its own officers when necessary.
It's a two-edged sword, if you may, in terms of us now being transparent and saying, yes, we have a problem, and on the other end, showing also that we are in a position to manage the problem that we have.
Pitt said he was unable to say more on the matter as it is currently under criminal investigation, but assured that there are mechanisms in place to ensure that rogue police officers are held to account.
Record profits met market reality at Trinidad and Tobago Scotiabank's annual general meeting. While the bank celebrated an historic net income, management also took the opportunity to address stakeholder anxiety regarding the steady decline in share price over the past year.
And in other business news, the landscape for TNT's creative entrepreneurs receives a major boost. Keisha Colesta Alonso has the details in tonight's Business Watch.
In sharing its financial results for fiscal 2025, Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago noted that the year marked another significant milestone in its performance. At its annual general meeting on Wednesday, the bank declared a net income after tax of $696 million for the year ended October 2025, representing a 6% growth over the comparative period of 2024. While these results were celebrated by shareholders, questions were raised regarding the bank's stock market performance. Investors highlighted a concerning trend in the falling share price, noting that while the stock once traded as high as $70, it currently sits at just above the $40 mark. The bank's CFO, Rashad Mohammed, sought to address these concerns.
Over the last 2 years, the share prices have gone down probably in the region of around 15 to 20%. 8% alone happened in 2025. and before that you had some declines as well. So that's what is a general market dynamic that's impacting all shares, not just the Scotiabank share.
Further, he cited changes within the local market which has caused price declines.
The movements in interest rates that have seen some people take out their money out of the equities, putting it into alternative investments.
Mohammed, however, gave the assurance that the bank would be doing everything from a management perspective to continue to generate positive results. In other business news, on Wednesday, the Buy Local Build Tobago Charter officially welcomed 3 businesses into its ranks, signaling a commitment to scaling homegrown talent. The charter, which is a collaboration between the Ministry of Trade and the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, was signed by the Musical Instruments of Trinidad and Tobago Company Limited, or MITCO, Immortal Beauty and Individual Aesthetics during day 1 of the Chamber's Catalyst SME Conference. Akia Ali, the managing director of MITCO, spoke to Business Watch about what the signing means for the company.
The Buy Local campaign definitely gives us the marketing energy behind the brand. We are seeing ourselves getting into more schools, more communities, not just locally but internationally.
Trade Minister Satya Karma Maharaj echoed that SMEs continue to play a critical role in economic growth. And now for a look at today's energy and forex prices. Geisha Kaulesa Alonso, CNC3 Business Watch.
As we head to a break, let's check in now with Jean-Marc.
We had mostly sunny and breezy conditions today, despite a few cloudy periods and 1 or 2 isolated showers. I'll have our local forecast and some footage of severe weather in the United States coming up just after the break.
From all over Trinidad and Tobago, Anil wrapping roti at lightning fast speed.
Sandra nailing every order in her hardware.
Lisa, who is in sync with style. There is no buffering at her boutique.
And Dr. Alex filling prescriptions with care. They're all part of the 5,000 strong businesses connected and growing with reliable, high-speed service from Amplia.
Now it's your turn.
Because with Amplia,
you're in good company. Amplia Business.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallo Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
Ramadan Kareem from Passad's The Food King. This season, we welcome you to 30 nights of blessed value. Enjoy incredible savings on your Ramadan essentials. Central Farm Halal Duck Cut Up, £4, $99. Halal Bone Goat, £4, $110. Chana Large Grain, 2,000 grams, $39.99. Chief Curry Powder, 230 grams, $26. Cook's Made Quick Oats, 226 grams, 4 packs for $20. Nescafe Colombian Bold Blend Coffee, 170 grams, $34.99. Regal Seedless Dates, 200 grams, $14.99. Sierra Halal Chicken Franks, 340 grams, 3 packs for $20. Shake Split Peas Powder, 400 grams, 2 packs, $15. Fresh Harvest Sweetened Condensed Milk, 390 grams, 3 tins, $25. Shake Vermicelli Sawine, 200 grams, 4 packs, $19.99. Value for every home this Ramadan at Passad's The Food King. Sale ends March 19th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Jean-Marc's back. Jean-Marc, there were some light showers this afternoon.
Yes, that's correct. They were in the forecast, and we did have a few cloudy periods as well this afternoon, with some clouds coming up from South America. And the chance of rain is expected to increase as the week progresses. So let's take a look at it on the satellite. We started off with mostly sunny conditions, then a few showers developed during the afternoon, and we even had some cloud cover moving up from Venezuela over us. Now, with the showers today, we also got a few gusts up to 43 kilometers per hour recorded here in Piarco, Trinidad, but up the islands in St. Lucia, they recorded a gust of 70 kilometers per hour from a nearby shower. Now, these showers are not making much of a dent in terms of soil moisture because the breezy conditions will just dry them out quickly, and so the bushfire conditions are expected to continue. Over the last 2 days, we've had less fires than last week, but still present mainly in areas like Las Lomas, the red dots representing the fires in Las Lomas and between Presal and Claxton Bay near the Sir Solomon Hochoy Highway, and that's expected to generally continue. Now, the forecast for tonight, we'll have the partly cloudy conditions continuing with the odd shower overnight, favoring Tobago and northern areas of Trinidad. Overnight lows of 23 in Trinidad and 24 in Tobago. Tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions again and showers favoring the same areas as tonight, and of course we'll still look out for the possibility of gusts with those showers. Sea conditions are still a bit elevated, but will gradually decrease heading into the weekend. Waves in open waters can get up to 2.5 meters and near 1 meter in sheltered areas. Winds are expected to be out of the east-northeast at around 15 to 20 knots. Also remember, I'm still looking out for the possibility of some rough seas early next week. Looking ahead, isolated showers on most days. From tomorrow, we'll have a slightly higher chance of those brisk showers, and that'll continue into the weekend. Then Monday is shaping up to be mostly sunny and breezy. Now, these showers won't be significant enough to completely stop the bushfires, but hopefully we see less of them by the weekend. Now let's head over to the United States, where yesterday evening in Kankakee, Illinois, they were struck by an extremely large and dangerous tornado. The storm caused significant damage, downed power lines, and left 7,000 residents without power, prompting an emergency declaration. Dashcam footage from one storm chaser showed large debris being transported by the strong winds, as well as large hail, which actually cracked their windscreen. Now, remarkably, the system produced record-breaking 6-inch hail, the largest ever documented in the state. That's about the size of a large grapefruit, falling through the atmosphere at over 150 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
So imagine that basically turns into a missile falling through the atmosphere and can be very deadly as well to those outdoors.
You can actually see it crossing the road.
Yes, it's not just one that falls, it's literally like rain, a hailstorm.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, John Mark. Well, still to come in the news.
Sometimes a lot of people come with a lot of crazy ideas, and now you can't make a rug out of just anything.
Meet the self-taught rug artist that's turning yarn into bold custom rugs.
Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View. Goat, 4 pounds for $99. Chana, 5 pounds for $19.95. Delicious dates, $19.95 per pound. Big deal, 1 gallon oil, $59.95. Crown 8 kg rice, $59.95. Green butterfly evaporated milk, 3 for $17.95. 4Z vermicelli, 1600 gram, $24.95. Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
You know, in the past, everyone was treated in a particular way.
Yep.
You have breast cancer, remove the breast, and then go for chemo.
Correct.
You know, and that's not the standard now. Each patient may not need to remove the breast. They may be able to preserve the breast. Some patients may need hormone therapy, some may not. Some may need some additional treatments like chemotherapy or targeted therapy. How would you feel as a woman when someone calls and said the doctor wants to speak to you about the results? Does that lead or triggers a response in you of anxiety?
Welcome back. There's a new passenger registration system coming on stream next Tuesday, which Homeland Security Minister says is part of good governance.
However, the cost of this system, purchased from CARICOM Impacts, remains a mystery, at least for now. Jensen Levend and Che Tikasing have this report.
Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says the cost of the online platform for arrivals and departure is a matter of national security and therefore could not divulge it.
Let me address this earlier. The Ministry of Homeland Security, and because of the security involved, we don't want to discuss the cost at this time. However, there cannot be a cost attached to improving the quality of life of citizens, really. So I wanted to keep that in mind.
Backed by his colleague, Minister of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, Dominic Smith, Alexander says the country would know the cost in due course.
We intend to keep things along a certain line until it is necessary that we reveal it. Okay?
Even with no direct answer, Smith assures the process is transparent.
I will just say that anything related to costs, there's no secret,
Exactly.
There's a level of transparency and accountability across this government that hasn't been seen in a very long time. So I think what Minister is trying to reveal to you is that the concentration here is really on the net benefit and reward of the system. So I think the focus really needs to be on that. But I mean, related to cost, is the government's responsibility to get value for money.
He went on to say that the focus should be on the benefits of the new platform.
So let's focus on what really matters, making the lives of citizens easier. But we take your question, and I just want to say to you that there's no correlation between your question in terms of costs and national security. But I think the focus has to be realigned.
Smith said the vendor regional security body CARICOM Impacts is trusted across the region to deliver a quality product. The website goes live from March 14th. However, the QR codes will only be accepted from the 17th. From then, paper forms will not be accepted. With past data breaches, Smith stated that there is some measure of protection in place.
But I'm sure you might be aware information has been available in paper-based format as well. Why hasn't that been leaked, right? So I'll ask you that. That's one, right? Secondly, we've been working with many bodies related to cybersecurity. So we've worked with TTC CERT. We've taken the appropriate steps to safeguard and to provide the sufficient guardrails.
Meanwhile, digital risk expert Shiva Parashram said more than software is needed to address potential data breaches.
Barbados has a full data protection act, so it would be nice if I'm sure we're heading in that direction, but I think that needs to be sped up because it really is a great concern when you look at the type of information out there.
While there will be no grace period to facilitate the switch, the ministers assured that assistance will be provided at the ports for those needing it. Jensen Levend, CNC3 News.
Well, health officials across the Caribbean are raising fresh concerns about alcohol consumption, warning that the region faces growing health risks linked to drinking.
At a recent discussion to mark Caribbean Alcohol Reduction Day, experts highlighted worrying statistics, including the early age in which children begin consuming alcohol.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
Alcohol remains deeply embedded in Caribbean culture, from celebrations to social gatherings. But health experts say the consequences are becoming harder to ignore. New regional data found that in the Americas, an average of 7.4 liters of alcohol is consumed per person each year. That is about 30 beers, with several Caribbean countries exceeding that level. Researchers say when looking specifically at people who drink, countries including Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, and Antigua and Barbuda record consumption levels above the regional average. Experts say this pattern is contributing to serious health consequences.
There are 2 million deaths in the world for alcohol consumption, for men alcohol consumption, and 600,000 for deaths each year for women. And we can see that the main causes are also alcohol use disorders, alcohol cardiopathy, liver cirrhosis, cancers, road traffic injuries, self-harms, and violence. And so it's, as we can see, alcohol can be related to more than 200 different health conditions.
Health officials say young adults are among the most affected. Globally, alcohol-related deaths are highest among people aged 20 to 39, while in the Americas, the most affected group is 20 to 24-year-olds. According to Lawrence Jysing, compared to other countries, TNT has a high percentage of youth ages 15 and 19 who consume alcohol.
From global reports, as we all know, compared to the other Caribbean countries, Trinidad and Tobago has the highest percentage among youth in terms of consumption. And we've seen WHO estimated that 31% of TNT youths between 15 and 19 consume alcohol, which is the highest compared to other Caribbean territories, 26.3% in Jamaica and 27.3% in Guyana.
Data shows that with the legal age at 18, 82.5% of youth students first consumed alcohol during primary or secondary school. Public health advocates also warn that many people remain unaware of another major risk, the link between alcohol and cancer.
Knowledge about the link between alcohol and cancer, knowledge about the fact that alcohol causes cancer, increases people's support for alcohol policy.
Now, the health experts say there is no completely safe level of alcohol consumption, and they're urging governments to strengthen measures such as limiting alcohol marketing, raising taxes, and improving treatment services. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Biswas has already signalled her intent to raise the legal drinking age to 21. However, the experts say while doing so will reduce early alcohol exposure, current findings show higher misuse among those already above this threshold. They further note that reducing alcohol-related harm will require not just policy changes, but a shift in public attitudes toward drinking. Bavita Gopalchan, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
All right, well, Jassie's up next with sport. And Jassie, news of another win for Chris Richards Jr.
That's right. TNT's Gulf Open champion is rounding nicely into form with his second back-to-back collegiate win coming just ahead of this weekend's Trinidad and Tobago Open. And Jamaica's Mount Pleasant Academy attempts to giant slay against MLS side, the LA Galaxy. We'll give you details after the break.
Your immune system is your first line of defense. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is enriched with zinc, ensuring that your body stays resilient. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a bit?
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hi, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. With middays before they hit the pitch at 1,300 feet above sea level, this country's senior men's footballers can't afford to be distracted with off-field matters. Today, its stand-in head coach, Derek King, gave some insight into his frame of mind, as well as the squad's makeup and the mission in Bolivia.
I think, it's always a pleasure to lead our national team. I've been there around 5 head coaches, and I think, the opportunity arises and grab it with both hands.
Interim head coach Derek King's return to the helm of the senior men's national team comes in another cloud of uncertainty.
The squad continued its preparations for Sunday's Bolivia friendly on the main field of the Maniram John Stadium today, with the locally based group looking in good spirits despite the noise around it. Asked about his feelings on his predecessor's exit, King says he's keen to bridge the gap.
Concerning, Dwight has did well with the team, the World Cup campaign. That call is between Dwight and the executive. All we want at this moment is to build on the foundation that Dwight left.
On assertions that football had taken a step backward with Dwight York's ouster, the longtime national head coach was certain that he had a job to do regardless of administrative issues. He also pointed to the squad's composition as a good omen, at least on the field of play.
This is life, right? Some may like the decision, some may not like the decision, right? But we're here to do our job. We want to do it to the best of our ability. We have 14 players under the age of 25. We have 8 players under the age of 20. We also have Rampasad here with us and Telfa. They are in pre-season. And they joined the squad because I think you need a little experience going into Bolivia, who is preparing for a game against Suriname in March.
With a tight schedule before the team heads to Bolivia tomorrow morning, King says his players will have to grab their chance to make it into the FIFA Series squad.
It's 3 days preparation. Going into Bolivia will always be difficult. I think once we show that discipline, we stay compact. It's up to them. Go out there and impress us and force the coaches to make a decision on who we're carrying for the final squad.
King's 23-man squad includes several untested players, alongside the likes of Alvin and Jovan Jones. He's also brought former senior men's head coach Hudson Charles into his staff. Charles coached the team from New Year's Day 2012 to June 18, 2013, and served a further 41 matches as Stephen Hart's assistant from then until November 27, 2016. King was one of Charles' assistants during the latter's own interim coaching appointment. TNT versus Bolivia is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. at the Ramon Tahichi Aguilera Stadium in Santa Cruz. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport. Wishing them the very best. Now, UTT's netballers wrapped up another Premiership Division title in the court's All Sectors Netball League on the weekend. Their win over Police sees them secure the hardware with a game to spare. Here's Caston Cupid with more.
It was a festive atmosphere at the Eastern Regional Indoor Sports Arena in Tagarigua when UTT in the red squared off with Police. The latter getting off the mark, both needing 2 bites of the cherry for success. Denisha Henry had the hot hand early for the officers, and Michaela Grant also chipped in to the Cup's cause. But the experience of national player Khalifa McCullen showed, as at the end of the first quarter, UTT surged to hold the 9-8 lead, with expert defending from UTT's Kiel Connolly and precision shooting up front from McCullen. They extended that lead to 21-15 at the half. Police tried to stage a comeback led by Grant, who scored 22 over 28 attempts, but it was far from enough. Janisha Kasimi and Shania Morgan scored 15 and 8 goals respectively, assisting McCullen, who had a massive night, leading all scorers with 31 goals from 34 attempts, as UTT went on to record the 54-29 victory. The celebration started early as they went on to beat defending champs Reboot Tigers 69-12 on Sunday to stay perfect, opening up an unassailable 7-point lead in the division with 1 round to play. Defense Force is second with 7 points. Police is third on 5. Tigers are fourth with 2 points, the same as bottom dwellers, UTC. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Track and field now. Tobago's next generation of athletes delivered an exciting display of talent on Tuesday at the annual Primary Schools Track and Field Championship at Shore Park Recreation Ground. Stefan Nicholas reports.
Parents, teachers and supporters were fully engrossed throughout the day's events at the Shore Park Recreation Ground, and rightfully so, as Tobago's primary school track and field stars put on a show. Pembroke Anglican's Kenron Orr was a standout in the boys 13 to 15 category. In the high jump event, he cleared 1.62 meters, well ahead of his competitors. Long after he had already secured gold, young Orr pushed himself higher and higher, only missing at 1.65 meters. He also stormed to victory in the 400 meters in 56.07 seconds, leading from start to finish, before adding another win in the half-lap event. In the girls 13 to 15 category, Signal Hill Government's Gloria Henry was equally dominant, claiming gold in the 400 meters, high jump and long jump. Scarborough Methodist Azarian Williams also impressed in the boys under 13 division, winning the 200 meters, 400 meters and high jump. Meanwhile, Bethesda Government's Aquila Melville dominated the 13 to 15 field events, taking gold in the javelin, discus and shot put. At the end of the day, Owen Williams O'Krong joined Victor Ludurum with 30 points each, while Henry and Melville shared the Victrix Ludurum title. Education Secretary Orlando Kerr praised both the athletes and the strong support from parents.
And the level of performance of the children, I'm also very happy with that.
What would it take to get these athletes to achieve their full potential?
I think one of the things that we need to do is to look at our facilities in Tobago. As you know, right now the stadium is not in use. And I think that is a very critical part in terms of getting our athletes, in terms of reaching their full potential.
Wim Anglican finished as a top overall school with 214 points, followed by Scarborough Methodist with 164 points and Scarborough RSC with 148 points. Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 Sports.
All right, well, the BAFA Sports Series of nighttime road running events continued on Saturday with 1,600 entrants taking on the midnight 10K race, which began and ended at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain. After taking runners around the Savannah, the race proceeded down Dundonald Street and onto the popular Arapita Avenue, mixing Trinidad and Tobago's urban entertainment culture with the blossoming running culture. BAFA Sports Director Larry McDonald commented on the latter phenomenon.
No, running used to be for runners, but now everybody's trying to run at least the shorter distances, the 5Ks until the 6 and the 10Ks, right? It's real popular. We bring in large numbers of people together, and sponsors have been responding to that, right?
First across the line was Nicholas Romani, and first woman was Alexia John. Romani's winning time was 31.39 or 31 minutes 39 seconds, followed by Tafari Waldron in 32 minutes 16 seconds and Darius Harding in 33 minutes flat. John clocked 38 minutes 52 seconds with Anika Bailey second in 41.31 and April Francis third in 42.29. Now, more than a race for the elites, McDonald also stated that the midnight 10K continues to grow, and of course, next up for them, the midnight half marathon next month. In more road running, the Sir Optimist International Association of Trinidad and Tobago's Strides for Justice 5K event for women and girls attracted 466 runners at Skinner Park in San Fernando last Sunday. Sir Optimist International Trinidad and Tobago's Vice President Carolyn King Henry spoke about the significance of Sunday's run on the International Women's Day calendar. Trinidad and Tobago golf champion Chris Richards Jr. continues to impress on the U.S. collegiate stage after winning his second consecutive tournament for the Weber International University. Richards fired impressive rounds of 69, 66, and 66 at Canebrake Golf Club last weekend to finish 12 under par and win the individual championship. His teammate Vedant Sirohi followed closely at 10 under par, helping the Weber Warriors clinch their second team title of the season. Now, Richards' latest win, which comes just a week after he won in Georgia, pushes him to number 3 in the NAIA individual rankings. He'll now focus his attention on defending his Trinidad and Tobago Open Golf Championship at St. Andrew's Golf Club in Mocha Maraval later this week. Mount Pleasant Football Academy plays against the odds and big bucks for the Windies men. More in Sport Round the Region.
Caribbean Cup champions Mount Pleasant FA are set to make history tonight as they debut in the round of 16 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, taking on MLS giants LA Galaxy in the first leg at Dignity Health Sports Park. The Jamaican club heads into the clash under difficult circumstances, as sporting director Paul Christie says nearly half of their squad is unavailable due to visa issues, leaving the team unable to field its strongest starting 11. Christie expressed frustration, noting that the club appealed to CONCACAF for assistance, arguing they simply want a level playing field and the opportunity to truly compete rather than just show up. The West Indies senior men's team is set to receive just over $500,000 for their performance at the recently concluded ICC Men's T20 World Cup. A total of US $11.25 million in players' prize money will be distributed among the 20 participating nations. In announcing the individual prize earnings for the tournament, ICC disclosed that the regional team earned US $538,269,000 for finishing 5th. Custom Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
And to end, Bam Adebayo cements his name in history and tonight's Sport High.
Miami's Heat Bam Adebayo was in the zone with a clinical scoring run against the Washington Wizards last night. He scored 31 points in the first quarter, 43 by halftime, and finished the game with 83 points. In a feat of endurance, Bam made 36 out of 43 free throws and 20 out of 43 field goals to above Kobe Bryant and into second on the NBA's highest ever individual scoring performances. Add to that, tonight's CNC3's Sport High.
83 points in one game, certainly well worth our Sport High tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered. Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Tomitoma, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Welcome back. A bulk carrier from Thailand has suffered heavy damage after being struck by Iranian missiles in the Strait of Hormuz.
The vessel was transiting the vital choke point en route to India when it was hit by two projectiles. The strikes triggered explosions at the stern and ignited a fire in the engine room. Of the 23 Thai nationals on board, 20 were rescued by the Royal Navy of Oman. However, 3 crew members are currently missing and believed to be trapped in the burning engine room. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has claimed responsibility, stating the vessel was targeted after allegedly ignoring warnings. This marks the 14th vessel struck since regional hostilities escalated in late February. The ship's operators say the vessel was not carrying cargo at the time, and they are working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure the safe return of all crew members.
From here, we take another break and come back with more. Stay with us. In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts, use of credible sources, and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
I'm so dizzy. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh. Caleb, are you okay? Oh my God, are you all right?
Cal! I need help! Cal!
Jackson? Hey, what's wrong?
It's Caleb. He's like really...
Where is he now?
It's not far. Come on, I'll show you.
Lead the way.
Be sure to catch Sullivan's Crossing, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
The Venezuelan embassy in TNT says it is struggling to keep up with the high demand of Venezuelan migrants seeking documents required for the government's migrant registration process.
Venezuelan Ambassador Alvaro Sanchez Cordero said the embassy is working to process thousands of consular registrations needed by migrants applying for the government's Migrant Regularization Framework, or MRF. He said limited staff at the embassy has made the task challenging, but officials are also working with local organizations to assist members of Venezuela's Indigenous Warao community living in Trinidad and Tobago. First Peoples Sovereign Nations Chief Eric Lewis said about 200 Venezuelan Warao Adults and children have already registered online, with many receiving appointments for interviews. He said so far around 50 of them have completed the process. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander indicated that 27,000 migrants have registered to date, and in-person interviews will continue until March 27th.
Caribbean leaders and climate experts are preparing for the first international conference on transitioning away from fossil fuels in Colombia next month.
The discussions follow a regional meeting held in St. Lucia earlier this month aimed at shaping the Caribbean's position ahead of the talks. Government officials and civil society representatives gathered in St. Lucia to discuss the region's approach to a global shift away from fossil fuels. Organizers say the Colombia conference will create a dedicated space for countries to focus specifically on fossil fuels, an issue they say can sometimes be overshadowed during wider climate negotiations.
The structures of the UNFCCC space have been become too rigid, and the rules of procedure where it is a consensus-based decision-making process means that we are diluting our ambition every time.
Meanwhile, CARICOM climate envoy Dr. James Fletcher says he has realistic expectations for the conference in Colombia.
We're not going to Colombia, we're not going to Santa Marta expecting we're going to come out of a treaty. We're not there yet. 18 countries do not form a global treaty. You know, Paris Agreement was 195, 196 countries agreeing. We are nowhere near that. We're not even at the level of 1/10 of what we had for the Paris Agreement. So first of all, a growing movement, more countries coming on board, a little bit more clarity in what it is that we want this treaty to address, and an understanding that a just transition has to be just that.
Dr. Fletcher has warned the creation of a new class of energy poverty in the energy transition in this region is a real possibility. For many people, a side hustle is just a way to earn extra income. But for Aidan Jessamy, it has become a creative outlet and a growing business.
The self-taught rug maker is turning logos, portraits, and even anime characters into bold custom pieces. What he describes as textile art, his unique creations are now catching the attention of many online.
Angelo Jedediah tells us more.
This is called tufting, and the process requires focus and attention. It's how rugs are made, and for 30-year-old Aidan Jessamy, creating custom designs is more than just a hobby. It's a side hustle that scratches his creative itch.
Something like this into yourself.
It was a few years ago when Aidan began watching rug-making videos online to pass the time, but the concept piqued his interest, encouraging him to pursue his desire for the creative outlet.
I started watching videos online, and every time someone would post a video of them now starting off a rug, it looked really scrappy and messy. But when I did my first rug, I was like, but comparing mine to theirs, I was like, but I look like, you know, I have an upper hand here. I look like I already know what I'm doing.
From there, his hobby became a thriving business. His creations gained traction on social media, prompting requests for branding, businesses, and home decor, with anime designs being a particularly popular request. But these tufted masterpieces take time to create.
I'll give myself at least 10 days to finish a rug. So I may have a couple orders, but I kind of hold it off a little bit. I'll let people know because it takes such a long or a great amount of time.
Now, when it comes to actually making the rugs, he first sketches the design, then puts his tufting gun to work. But not everything could be turned into a rug.
Sometimes a lot of people come with a lot of crazy ideas. And now you can't make a rug out of just anything. You need to have it in a certain format. A lot of bold lines, a lot of color distinctions.
With a degree in biochemistry and a corporate 9-to-5 job, he implores other young people to still pursue their creative dreams.
Follow the academics first. I think that'll be the wise thing to do. And then if you want to pursue something on the side, go for it.
Yeah, don't afraid right.
Now, it did look simple enough, so I tried my hand at tufting a rug. But let's just say I'll leave it up to Aidan, the rug-making expert. Angelo Jedediah, CNC3 News.
An interesting hobby there.
Not a bad job from Angelo.
He should stick to his day job. All right, well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news. But as we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the newscast. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambley.
I'm Brian Bechu.
I am Jatsy Marie.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rampersad. Have a good night.
You're watching CNC3.